Hey, what's up everybody? This is Tim from Arm Wrestling Secrets, and I wanted to talk about something that I thought everyone would find interesting, hopefully. It's what I do once my name is called at the arm wrestling tournament. Okay, so that's the big moment. That's the moment you've been waiting for. Okay, so for you beginners, when you get called up to the tournament for the first time, when you get called, when your name is called, that's a moment you'll never really forget. But for everyone that's arm wrestling, obviously that's the moment you've been waiting for. You're sitting there at the tournament, and there's all these people, and they're winning or losing, but they're not you. You're listening to all these names. Especially the bigger the tournament, it seems like sometimes you have to wait forever. If it's a small tournament, you don't have to wait very long. But when you hear that name, it's usually a familiar feeling, and it doesn't matter how many years you've been arm wrestling, you're like, okay, it's showtime and you got to get up there. Okay, so I wanted to talk about what I do before an arm wrestling, not before an arm wrestling tournament, but right before a match and once my name is called. Okay, so there's a difference between sitting in the audience and getting your name called. Once your name is called, you got to get up and you got to go arm wrestle. Okay, so that is a little different than sitting in the audience. Okay, you're there, but you're actually getting called to your match, and this is specifically about that. Okay, so it's what I do once my name is called. Okay, so you'll notice some people at arm wrestling, depending on who they are, they get pretty revved up before the match. So their name is called, and they're getting pumped up and clapping their hands together and all those kind of things. And that's perfectly fine if that's, because you really need 100% commitment out of your body, and that's the most important thing. As long as you get yourself into a mental place where you know you're going to be going 100% against somebody and you're going to be trying to win. However you do that is up to you. Now, in over the top, you see guys slapping each other and all kinds of crazy things. You don't see that very much, I can tell you. But however you rev yourself up is up to you. But this is what I'm going to say, and this is how that really differs, and this is hopefully going to be very instructive to you. Okay, now once my name is called, I get the same sensation as you do. I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm excited, but I'm calm because I have to be considering a whole bunch of things. Number one, who's my opponent? Instantly, you're going to know it's so-and-so at the tournament. It's either somebody you know, it's a stranger, it's somebody you've competed against before, you've either won or you've lost, or it's somebody who you know is very good or is not very good. You don't know, but you're going to know soon enough. Once your name is called, the other person's name is called, you're going to know who your opponent is. Okay, going from there. Okay, I know who my opponent is, identify my opponent. Now, everybody does that, but here's the reason I'm doing that, is I'm already starting the process of winning the match. Once my name is called, I'm starting the process of winning the match. Now I know who my opponent is. Okay, that's a big thing for me. Okay, now if he's a total stranger to me, and I've gone over this, remember, in the Arm Wrestling Secrets video series on technique, it's video 5. It's video part 5, Arm Wrestling Strategies, where I go over all of those factors in detail about picking your techniques and how to choose your style against different opponents. So I'm not going to rehash that in this video. That's part 5 of that's part 5 Arm Wrestling Strategies, okay, in the Arm Wrestling Secrets video series in my channel, okay. So I'm considering what opponent. I figure out what opponent I have. Okay, so I'm already thinking about. Okay, I'm already starting to think about what am I going to do with this opponent. As you know, if you watched part 5, you would know about choosing your style. Okay, you're choosing to attack the opponent. You're choosing counterattack if you know what technique they're going to do, or you're choosing a defensive style. If they're one of those people who's such a fast starter, you just need to stop the match, you might choose more of a offensive style. Okay. Part 2 of that is obviously choosing your technique that fits into that style. Okay, and that's any arm wrestling technique that fits into that style. And like I said, that's in part 5, Arm Wrestling Strategies. Those are the details in there. This is just a quick. Okay, so without going into any of that, now back to step 1. I've chosen I know what opponent I'm taking on. Okay, number 2, I have to choose my style against this opponent. Okay, I'm going to, if I don't know who they are, I'm going to attack them. Meaning I'm going to put them, I'm going to try my dominant technique against them first thing, okay? Now, sometimes you have to be flexible at the table. The more savvy you get at arm wrestling, the more you can change on the fly, okay? If somebody gives you a different grip than you expected, or it looks like they're going for a certain move, that's what this arm wrestling series is really all about, is tactical arm wrestling. That's kind of what it's about too, is once somebody grips up with you, and you see they're taking a stance, or they're going for, they're going for a top roll or a hook or something, you might change your plan when you go up there. Okay, so you also have to be flexible. But once you know who your opponent is, then you can start planning on what technique you're going to apply at the table. Okay, so once you're up at the table, okay, and you're going through the process of getting ready to do a grip up. Now, I have already chosen the technique that I'm going to do prior to gripping up with this person. I've chosen the style I'm going to apply, and I've chosen the technique I'm going to apply. Therefore, I know the grip I'm going to apply. Therefore, I know the stance I'm going to apply. Therefore, I know the elbow placement that I'm going to apply. Therefore, I know where I put my hand on his hand to get the effect that I want. Okay, so listen to me. Okay, so when your name is called, instead of going, all right, it's time to arm wrestle, that might be what the opponent's thinking. Now think, what if you're thinking, okay, identify opponent. What technique am I going to use? How do I put my body in exactly the right place to pull off the technique that I want? Okay? What hand placement is going to put me in the best position to win with the technique that I've chosen? What elbow placement on the elbow pad is going to put me in the best position to win with the technique that I've chosen? Okay? I don't think the opponent's probably going to be thinking about that. And until you get the right grip and the right position, you're thinking about every aspect that goes into winning that match against that opponent. Once you've chosen your technique and you're comfortable with your decision, you put your body in precisely the right place. All of the angles, the small angles, bringing your hand close, your elbows in exactly the right spot to pull your move, whether you're dragging or you're pressing or whatever you decided to do, your elbow needs to be placed properly, okay, and for the technique that you're going to do. So you should be thinking about all those things. Don't just go up there, grab the person and think, okay, I'm ready to arm wrestle. I might top roll, I might hook, I might press, up until when the ref says go. No wonder you're losing up there, okay? And that's no offense, but it's a lot of arm wrestlers do. They just get up there and they just think, okay, I'm just gonna kind of react. You can't, if you're gonna be successful, you can't do that. Okay, you need to be flexible. You need to know counterattack arm wrestling. You need to have dominant techniques, and then you need to be able to flow to different techniques depending on the situation. You're going to run into people that are much stronger than you. If, let's say, you're great at top rolling, you're going to run into arm wrestlers that'll beat you with the same technique, and you need to be able to switch to different techniques to throw them off their game and to be able to beat or work around their strengths, okay, and take advantage of their weaknesses. Okay, so that's kind of a constructive video without going on too long about one of the things that I'm thinking about once my name is called. A lot of those things are going through my head really, really fast, but a minute, maybe a minute and 30 seconds, I'm going to be arm wrestling, but I try to process those things very, very, very quickly and give myself the very, very best chance of winning the arm wrestling match. And if you do the same thing, go through that same type of checklist, putting your body in the right place, getting the technique chosen prior to getting up there, okay, all those kind of things. It'll give you the best chance of winning the match. So I hope this was helpful. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.